were arriving here at 10 without consenting to it, but in order to observe it, to watch the eviction of my files, my long-time investigative files. In fact, the UN has already entered my office without my consent. But today, as of yesterday, they said that I could come with a 2-person camera crew. This was changed at 1:30 in the morning. They sent me an email saying I can only bring 1 individual. The 2-person crew is off. Now I'm waiting for a 1-person individual, and that, as is my right. As is my right when my journalistic files against all principles of freedom of the press are searched, seized. I don't even know how long they're going to hold them. Where is Cristina Gallach? Ban Ki-moon is in Washington, D.C., where Senator Bob Corker called him inept. He'll be called worse on this one. This is censorship. All right, let's do it. I'm not exactly... Let's see how we're supposed to get in. Maybe we're supposed to go in 47th Street. I don't know. They didn't even tell me that. So let's see. He said they would tell security, so whatever that means. Oh, there's a rocket. Hey, yes. I'm supposed to come in. Is there some kind of a list? All right. You can actually, maybe we'll hold tight. I'm supposed to come in to... Okay, they said it. I don't know. Let's go. This was the gate. This is the gate they threw me out through, right there. They threw me out onto the street, 8 guards, walk around the traffic circle, threw my laptop on the ground. All of this, the audio is up. Ban Ki-moon is free to listen to it. Many people have listened to it, several thousand. And not one person has said this was wrong. Not one UN person said, sorry for that, we went too far. So basically, these guys are thugs. You would think, and many people have said to me, the U.S. mission, you're a U.S. citizen, you're an investigative journalist, they have a First Amendment. It's a no-brainer. All they have to do is call Ban Ki-moon and say, back off. Well, they never did. And without getting into the specifics yet, which I will, yesterday, I approached Samantha Power, U.S. permanent representative, noted free speech advocate and former journalist, and I said, I'm being thrown out of the UN. There's a letter from the Government Accountability Project to Ban Ki-moon to stop it. She said, I've got to run. And I gave a copy of the letter to her spokesman, Curtis Cooper, and said, please make sure that Samantha Power is aware that one of the most active journalists here at the United Nations is being thrown out on the street. And nothing has been done. So it's hard. People can reach their own conclusions. We're going to have to turn off everything to go through here. I need to work. I need a white pea. I'm getting every day that I'm going to get. It's unbelievable. Consider to apply.
I think you go to reapply if you want for an office space or whatever the white pea when the time comes.
Is this considered a disciplinary action or something? Like behavioral action or something? I read all your... I'll talk to Matt later.
I'm ready to take this up. Hopefully.
Okay.
So, for the record, this is how clean Inner City Press, thrown out by Ms. Cristina Gallach and Ban Ki-moon after 10 years of covering the UN, this is how clean we've left the office. Spotless for the next hapless journalist who comes along. May he or she not err and dare to ask why Ban Ki-moon's spouse was at the founding of the Global Sustainability Foundation, why he was the sponsor of a conference in Macau in August 2015. Cynically and sardonically, I urge you, do not ask that question, or you too will have your office cleaned out amid security and moving men and media accreditation. Except there shouldn't be one. What we need to say is that it emerged in the middle of the eviction that they had never considered the argument that Inner City Press could keep the office without me in it. Maybe they would like that. So that's supposedly going to be considered Monday, and we are urging them in no uncertain terms, legally and otherwise, spiritually and morally, but also legally, to leave the status quo. I think Shane Aviar was there. They didn't mention any of that. Too convenient. The whole thing is John Ash. John Ash is just one guy. John Ash is the equivalent of Babacar Guy. He's just like the wrong person of color at the wrong time in the wrong place. And the boss, Hervé Latsis, or in this case, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, gets off scot-free. All right, this is it. This is Ban Ki-moon's UN. When you write an article he doesn't like, you better get your files rolling. Get those doggies rolling. Rawhide, rawhide. Well done. Excellent. Tremendous organization you got here. If you're a Chinese billionaire, you can have a party in the lobby. If you're a journalist who covers it, you better be rolling your belongings right out through the lobby. All right. Oh, we're going to go through the very same gate they threw me out of on February 19th. Where's Debbie? Oh, we're going to go through the very same gate they threw me out of on February 19th. Where's Deputy Chief McNulty now? Less talking, more walking. That's what the man said. Less talking, more walking. Hey, it's Kyung-Hwa Kang, the Assistant Undersecretary General of Humanitarian Affairs. She's taking off. She's on the move. Kyung-Hwa! She's trying to get a cab. Yeah, sure. Stop that official. That's Kyung-Hwa Kang. Kyung-Hwa Kang. We should go? Yeah. Oh, cool. Whoa. Let's go. Let's set up our shop. I guess I'm going to go over here. Whoa! All right.
You can leave it in here, I guess.
Okay. That's great. Just drop me off here. This is it. Thank you, Ban Ki-moon. Ms. Kang, I want you to be the sole UN official to witness this. This is my gift to you. I am being thrown out of the UN. Those are all my files. Ban Ki-moon has thrown me out of the UN. Now you know. It happened today. On to the street. All right. That's fine. Yeah, drop it here. Drop it here. I don't.
You pop it up.
Okay.
I got this.
And all the things that you said you're checking Monday, I'm hoping that you do. I'm hoping that it's not as false a promise as this turned out to be. And the requests are, to remind you, that Inner City Press, as a media that's covered the UN for 10 years, has a right to remain even if I'm under suspension, which was made in writing in February. All right. Thanks a lot. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let me set up shop right here. Okay, I think our time is completed. Our time is concluded. Maybe not. Maybe I'll pull a hider. They're going to be closing down First Avenue because they're having a hoopla about the Sustainable Development Goals. And, you know, they're going to talk about freedom of information, and they're going to talk about the spirit of democracy, and they might even talk about the rule of law. But what I want to know is, what about the rule of law if you can throw out a journalist without even any due process, with no appeals right, with a single official who had a conflict of interest deciding to retaliate against a longtime journalist, and nothing happens? What rule of law is there at the UN? None. Zero. Zip. The UN brought cholera to Haiti and killed 10,000 people. They haven't paid one penny to one family that lost their breadwinner, lost their home, and lost their schooling. Not a penny. Zero. The UN stood by covered up documents while 40,000 people were killed in Sri Lanka in 2009. They haven't admitted a single problem. They created something called Rights Up Front, and now they erase why they even created it. Now they get a letter from Tamils of Sri Lanka saying don't throw inner city press completely out of the building, and this is the response. Hello, Jaffna. We really respect you. We're going to put those boxes in the street. Ban Ki-moon moving service. No job too small. No media too small to be targeted. The big are good, the small must go. Chinese billionaire, good. Small media, bad. Sometimes you have to laugh. Sometimes it's so absurd. Because anywhere else in New York, where a corrupt official tried to do this to the press, they would be taken to court. They would be taken to court. They would resign. They would have to answer questions. Reality. This is it. The United Nations. It was a fine idea. And when 10 years ago I came to cover the United Nations, I believed in all of its principles. I believed in the rule of law. I believed in the protection of civilians. I believed in the right to information. And because I pursued the UN actually living up to any of these principles, the result is the throwing of my files into the street.